What's going on, everybody? How we all doing today? It's your boy Chuck. You haven't seen me like this in a long time. Just sitting here, chatting with you. Not live. Almost always live now, because of the show and everything. But at the end of the day, this isn't Chuck's Shop Talk, like the channel. That's not what it's called. It's Chuck's Raw Reviews. And that means every once in a while, I still gotta do a fucking review. And I was reminded today that I was a bad friend. And you know what? Every once in a while, we are bad friends. We all suck. And actually, I think that's a really great segue into my book. I was reminded I sucked because I made a promise. I told someone, "Man, for your birthday, I'm gonna review your kick-ass new book." Their birthday is gone like a month or so ago. So that was obviously absolute bullshit. I forgot making that promise, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a promise, right? So, in the breath of Everyone's an Asshole, I give you Granite State Punk by my good buddy Travis Gibb. Dude, first off, this is like even inside, it's such a glossy book, and the funny thing about this book is, I know that this is, we make different books for different reasons. If you created, if you've made anything like that before, you understand. But when Travis went to make this book, this was his level up book. This was the book that he was going to prove, dude, you're seeing me here, but I'm here, and I can even go higher. And I mean, like, you're looking at the art, you're looking at the feel of it, everything. I will tell you, I feel the level up in this book. I really do. Like, not even just in the glossiness or any of that kind of stuff. I feel it in the layouts, in the writing, in the look, and in the story. It's funny. I've been and this will have to do with the comic, don't worry. But I've been in the comic industry now for more than 5 years. And you get to know your fellow creators, but you also don't. You know what I mean? Like, you get to know their creations and you get to know what they tell you and all that kind of stuff. But because there's some distance, I've met Travis on multiple occasions, but you don't really get the chance to sit down and fucking hash shit out because you are always worried about creation and comic drama and fucking whatever else. You know what I mean? And so that shit comes up way before you end up talking about, your parents, your youth, all that kind of shit. Now, Trav has talked about his family and his youth and stuff. Not in any great depth, but I really felt like reading this, like I got to know him more. And I felt like I could see different connections, different things that he did, that I was like, dude, this is Travis. Like, this is a Travis book. And I fucking love that. But for those of you guys who aren't good buddies with Travis, which is fair, this is a love letter to punk, to to restless, difficult youth, to fucking having a hard life, to New Hampshire, which is where he comes from, to all these kinds of things, to so many things that are a part of what makes Travis. And this fucking awesome book here is all about a dude named Zeke. I don't want to go into it too far because I don't want you guys to be spoiled by it, even though it's been out for a bit, but I want you to pick it up and read it. It's, it actually says it really well on the back. It says, Granite State Punk is a rare, gritty look at witches, New Hampshire, addiction, and punk rock. And I think of all of those things, the thing we actually learn the least about is punk rock, which is perfectly fine because it's the other things that really make up the heart of the book. Punk rock for Zeke is, he doesn't tend to talk about it as much as just live that life. You know what I mean? So that's more his attitude. And that's how we see, that's how punk manifests it in this. It manifests itself in how Zeke deals with life and handles life. But all the other stuff, they're the heart. They're his heart. As heartbroken and wrecked as he is. You know, a broken heart can be fixed. And it's not obliterated and gone. I think that's the worst part about a broken heart, is that it still works. It still bleeds and it still hurts. And that we very much see that in this. I love fantasy, and I love telling a fantasy story without telling a fantasy story, and that's exactly what Travis said here, did here. He'll tell you that he's not necessarily excited to do, or that fantasy's not necessarily something that he's that's necessarily in his wheelhouse. I know I've heard him say that before, but you know, you've got this, you've got not so much Broke Down, but you've got this, you've got Cthulhu Invades, you've got Voodoo Nations. All of these have these sensation of fantasy to them. So I think what Travis really is, and what this book really is it's fantasy adjacent. He loves fantasy, and I do believe that he loves it. And it's a part of his existence. It's a part of existence for a lot of us who create. And so it's infused in here beautifully. While I'm thinking about it, I have one complaint, and I'm going to direct this directly at my good buddy Travis, because, you know, he, like any I think good creator, we like to hear all the good stuff because that fuels the ego. But there's times when you do something or you see something and you go, why the fuck would you do that? And this book, by the way, has a lot of fucks to give. It says fuck so many times. And you guys know it's my favorite word. So I will, on the very first page, in fact, is my one issue with this book. In fact, it's in the first panel. That's right. Right away I was like, it starts, my name is Zeke, and I want to tell you the tale of how I quit drinking. But first, you need to know that I effing hate everything about this state and this so-called city. Effing. F-ing. Now, I know later on that we find out who he's talking to, but he says fuck and shit and all sorts of stuff an awful lot. So why are you starting this off with effing? It was kind of a pansy-ass way of starting off the punk book. The fuck everything book. So that was my one thing, is I effing hate. You fucking hate. You motherfucking hate. Come in hot. Come in hard, my friend. That's what this book does. That felt like a pulled punch, I guess is what I'm thinking. And this book is not about pulling punches. And if you read the rest of it, it's not. And allow me, by the way, to show you my favorite. Well, there's a couple. I won't show. There's a double page spread, which I fucking love. And if you guys have read this and you know the double page spread I'm talking about, you know what's up. That double page spread, dude, that's fucking killer. It's gorgeous. My favorite page is this right here. Every day is the friggin' same as the last. Which takes me back to Nine Inch Nails. Every day is exactly the same. And I felt that here so much. And I would normally look at this and go, 9 panels, you fucking dick. You did that to Patrick fucking Biermeyer? What the hell are you doing? But that is the perfect way to utilize 9 panels. Perfect. Beautifully done. The beginning of the day, the middle of the day, the end of the day. So just fucking like dead on. I love that page. That page is just so fucking well done, and it does very much have that punk feel to it. So I mean, seriously, man, this all in, the whole thing. I'm here. I love it. I said recently, he was asking on Facebook, what's my favorite thing that you did? And at the time I said it was Broke Down 4 Dead Bodies 3. I thought it was an amazing setup to what turned out to be a really good ending to Broke Down. But now I'd have to say it's Granite State Punk. It really is. Dude, stylistically, you leveled up in the way that you've laid out. Like, it's obvious, like pages like that I just showed you. I'm sure, like, Patrick does beautiful layouts, and his work is absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, it really is. But that, you wrote that. That's not just Patrick going, oh, I'm going to do a cool layout. This was something that you had on a script, on the page, written. And you know that just by how it's done. And so, fucking good for you, man. This is, when you talk about leveling up, this is the fucking level up right here. So, guys, if you haven't, check out fucking Granite State Punk. It's an excellent book. And that's not just because I have mad love for the creator, because it genuinely is a really fucking good book. So, thank you guys so much for showing up for another video. Peace, love, and comics. And as always, my name is Chuck, and I give tons of fucks.